we got a countdown on this motherfucker? Or your shit is we was in the countdown. What's up?
Okay, you ready?
You guys ready?
I'm ready.
And 3, 2. What's the deal, people? It's your boy, the one and only, your host that do the most, Mr. Vara himself, aka the villain, because they hate me for my opinion. Welcome everybody back to another super exclusive collab with the Viral Way Podcast and Disorderly Conduct.
Yes, sir.
As always, I got my co-host with me.
Yeah, Messiah the Great. You already know, man. We're going to lead the way.
Come on, man.
Yes,
and
sir.
I got my boy over here, the one and only, you know.
Carlee the one, man. We tapped in another collab podcast. We ready to rock and roll. We about to talk us about some real shit. So I'm excited, man. Glad to have y'all back again. Let's get into it, man, for real.
Yeah, if you watched the first collab we did, you know what type of energy that we on.
Yeah.
I was loving the high-powered, deep intellect conversation, and, you know, we had to bring it back to the people. We got a lot of positive feedback on that one.
It was cool. Yeah. On that one. People was fucking with it, for real.
Yeah, for sure. So the first topic I want to dive into is the one that got the whole world talking right now. I'm pretty sure everybody out there is familiar with the Alabama woman who vanished. Reportedly, she was getting out to help a child on the highway, and then she disappeared. Carlee Russell, 25. I guess she was out on the highway. She reportedly, like 9 p.m., she reportedly seen a child on the side of the road. She pulled over, jumped out to go help the kid, and whoever she was on the other end of the line with said they heard a scream, the phone hit the pavement, and that was the last they seen of her.
Damn.
Yeah. They heard a scream, boom, phone dropped, like some movie shit, like shit you see in a movie, like going to help a kid and boom, like, you know. And I guess a couple days went by and she just popped back up. They said they found her at a hotel. I forget
Something
the
like
name of
that.
the hotel.
They took her to the hospital. I know they took her to the hospital.
Took her to the hospital, and we ain't really heard no statements from her since.
Not yet, yeah.
But I think that's kind of deep. How y'all feel about that?
I don't know,
What y'all
man.
think happened? Y'all think it was really a kid out there?
I don't know if it was a kid. It could have been something. They could have just put something out there that looked like a kid, or it could have been a kid. And then she just obviously fell for the trap. But I seen a lot of people kind of saying, "Oh, well, when you watch the footage, because they have camera footage of the freeway. For whatever reason, it's an independent contractor that they record what's going on the freeways, and they had the moment where she kind of drove along the side of the road. Her story was she stopped, but in the camera, she keep going for a while, then she hop out. So people trying to say it's not no kid there, but to me that don't really make sense, because why would she get out of her car or lie about it? Like, it don't make sense to lie about it. And she left everything in her car, lights on, car running, and then shows back up 2 days later. So in my opinion, somebody tried to get her. And then they seen the news. It probably was somebody not that experienced, and they got scared and dropped her off after they, you know. And I'm sure, you know, she's alive, but I'm sure not without trauma. Like, I'm for sure something happened to her. We just don't necessarily know what happened yet. But it's good that she's home, you know, because a lot of these cases turn out a different way. So it's good she's home. But I'm definitely waiting to see what the word is, because it's interesting, you know.
That's wild that they said there was no kid on the footage, because according to the person she was on the phone with, they heard her asking, like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" to the so-called child that was supposedly had been there, with no response. And then I guess that's when they heard the scream. But like you said, why would you just get out if there's like, that don't make sense.
It don't make no sense.
And my thing is, where's the rest of the footage and camera angles? Because we all know 2023, it's a camera everywhere in the world.
Yep.
CCTV, you can't even sneeze, pick your nose without them catching you flicking the booger. They got you. So I think they got some other footage out there that ain't came out yet. And how you feel about it, Messiah?
Y'all basically already summed it up, man.
Nah, fuck
when you
all
think
that,
about
man.
it,
How you feel? You think it was a kid out there? Because now they trying to, I even see people trying to blame the boyfriend, like, oh, the boyfriend, wooty bam, and they trying to cover it. I'm like, damn, how y'all get that out of this?
Conspiracies go crazy on TikTok.
It's always a nigga fault, huh? Like, damn. How you feel about it, though? You think it was really a kid out there, or what's going on? Because, you know, this sex trafficking shit is going crazy.
Right now, yeah.
Since the movie had been released, it's like story after story.
Yeah, I don't see that she had no reason, like you just said, to make it up. So I think it's possibility it was a kid. Kid could have been a decoy to get her. So whatever the case is, like you said, just good that she back. And whatever the case may be, like we said, we want to hear more intel on it. and get her side of the story before I make too many assumptions. But I feel like it was a kid, but like you said, we don't know how these usually turn out to her come back so quick in 2 days. Maybe it got too big in the world, and they like, fuck that. Off. Before we fuck up our whole operation, we need to get that bitch back.
Yeah, they like, listen, we need y'all to look for her as hard as y'all was looking for that goddamn submarine.
Man, come on.
Niggas saw that news article like, fuck that, drop her back off. But ladies, I will say this. For situations like this, I know, first instinct is to get out and help, but self-preservation, number one. Number one, if you is going to do that, go live. You feel me? Go live, record, get on the phone with the actual police, take preventative measures to where you can at least track your movements and be aware of your surroundings, because it's easy to, oh man, there's a kid out there. You jump out, now everything else is invisible to you, to where you can't even see a car pulling up or you can't see somebody creeping up. So stay aware of your surroundings. And man, if you ain't got no felony, get your damn gun license and get some training.
For real.
It is what it is. Protect yourself at all times.
Stop getting out them cars on the side of the freeway in the middle of the night.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
That's out. It is what it is.
That's
you
scary
do what you do.
shit.
You can watch the kid from the car, do whatever you was going to do. Stop doing that. Y'all women still thinking that y'all can save everything. Don't save it that way. Especially like you just said, you ain't got no weapons. You ain't got no way to protect yourself. You clueless about your awareness and your surroundings. Stop doing that.
Should have just called the police like how she did. That's what she called, but then she took it into her own hands, which was not cool. The only thing I don't like about the situation is, like we was talking about the conspiracy theories, we got to stop creating a whole backstory, you know what I mean, based off of one article, because I feel like it really it diminishes what she's going through. Like, because you already got people, saying, was it trafficking? Was it this? We didn't see a kid. All these different things where it's like it's taken away from what really happened. And I think that has a lot to do with, the police and what they investigate, because they looking at the social media now and shit too. So they're like, well, was it that? That's influencing them as well. So it's shit like that where it's just like, man, let's just let it play out, instead of being like, oh, it wasn't a kid there. I feel like people are trying to say she was lying already off the bat.
That's facts. That's
what they're trying to do, discredit it.
It's crazy you say that, because majority of people, it's no matter what you doing, she's trying to do something in her eyes is right, and people automatically trying to find the lie or the worst out of her situation. You know what I mean? Immediately accusing her of something else, like she pulling a fucking stunt. And regardless of whatever she's going through now, it's saying to most people now, she'd have came back with her fucking head decapitated or something. They wouldn't be. They would have thought it was real. You know what I mean? Oh my God, I'm my bad or whatever. But like you said, they gotta stop assuming the worst and see it for what it is. Like you said, let it play out before you assume that it's a hoax or she making shit up.
Yeah, victim shaming is a real thing. This is why I said start recording.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hit live on that camera. Y'all go live for everything else. You twerking in the club, you live. You know what I'm saying? You outside, you live. Go live. Let some viewers hone in on what you're doing. And like you said, watch it from the car. 911, hey, it's a baby on the highway, blah, blah, blah. Because what's the odds of a baby being on a motherfucking highway?
That already sound like a trap.
It already sound like some freaky shit. You know what I'm saying? And this ain't the first incident like this. Because I was watching a TikTok, and it was like a dude. I think he was with his wife. And same thing. It was a little kid running towards his truck. Like he stopped. The little kid like on some horror movie type shit damn near, had his head cocked running. He like, what the fuck is this? They didn't get out the car though, but you know what I'm saying? They cut the video when the kid got to the car, but I'm just saying, this is going on. It's starting to seem like it's a regular thing. So just take the precautions.
That's crazy. And we've had, serial killers that operate on the highway before. So it's known, that people be on there, niggas be on there wilding. And when they saying they can't see the kid, like, again, the camera can only see so far into the pitch black. Like, it can't really see further than the flashing lights. Like, it's nothing else that it could. When you watch it, you see the car go to the side of the road, and then it got the lights flashing. She get out, and even when she walk, it's kind of like she just disappear. So it's like you could have been a kid there. It's just it ain't the footage ain't gonna be that good. You know what I mean? So
realistically, a woman is not finna get out for no man or nothing else that's grown. You know what I mean? Her probably having a nurturing type spirit is going feel for the kid. That's why she probably bouncing out. Other than that, I don't think she just getting out on the side of the road in the middle of the night for something like that.
Self-preservation, ladies. Self-preservation. Be smarter.
What y'all want to get into? Let's get into that. Let's go into that LA No Bail.
Oh, yeah. LA No Bail is going crazy, right?
So
LA going crazy right now. Go ahead, bro.
I see it only impacts individuals arrested for misdemeanors and nonviolent felonies. So that's pretty much what, like vandalism, theft, you could say that too, or like certain types of burglary. I mean, because I know they classify it different, right? Like a robbery would be more, you got to like intimidate or put some type of intimidation tactic into it, brandish some type of weapon. Well, I mean, I guess that makes it armed robbery, but
Now you said it right.
right?
Yeah,
you got to have some type of intimidation,
some type of fear
to it.
factor.
You know, a burglary is more like you getting something without really, I guess, coming in contact with somebody. So how y'all feel about it? Because to me, I was kind of talking to him earlier, and I'm like, all right, if you got a kid who he not a bad kid, he a little rough around the edges, and then he go and tag some shit on the wall, and now he got to pay $2,000 to get out. His mom or dad, whoever, might not have $2,000 to get him out, and so then you might go down the line, and then you go from being a good kid to, I don't necessarily know how the system works, but I mean, I'm sure if you was to go from, you know, just the holding cell to somewhere else, things gonna be a little different. So then now you're within a system that a lot of people don't get out of, all because of a minor mistake. And so I feel like that's how they're getting people of color anyways, on a little shit like that. Oh, you vandalized, we're gonna put you in here, and then it tallies on. So it could be good in a way.
So for clarity, is you can't bail out, or the bail,
There's no cash bail. So if you go to jail for vandalism now, you'll be in there for like 2 to 5 days and get out. No, you don't got to pay nothing. You just might have to sit in there for 2 to 5 days.
Yeah, it says under the policy, the Los Angeles Police Department and LA County Sheriff's Department cannot require cash bail for some arrested people before their arraignment. And like you said, it's misdemeanors and nonviolent felonies. Those arrested for sexual offenses, domestic violence, and offenses involving weapons will be exempt. So it does not apply to those charges. Pretty much petty theft. Yeah. You know, it's the rise in the petty thefts that we see now online, where people are just recording people walking out of stores and doing stupid shit, kind of abusing it. But I think it's a good thing, because jail, you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. You're supposed to be under the assumption that you're innocent. So if I'm in here for a petty ass misdemeanor and I'm in the county getting shifted around dorm to dorm for 3 months,
you're gonna be with some,
it's kind of some bullshit if I'm innocent. If you're saying I'm innocent till proven guilty, you haven't proven me guilty. So why am I in here losing my freedom over a petty ass crime to begin with? And like you said, it disproportionately affects minority communities.
Definitely.
So I'm cool with it. I think it's good. I think it's fucked up that people is abusing it though, because now, I mean, they fuck around and like, okay, look, we did this.
Never mind.
We put it out there. This is what y'all was asking for. Look how y'all abused it. Fuck y'all. We back to the, you feel me? Matter of fact, we gonna be even harsher on y'all.
And that's what I'm afraid of.
See, that thing is like a gift and a curse, because I agree. I think it's good, because I don't think everybody needs to sit down for some petty shit. But I feel like people that is doing that, they seriously need it. If you going in stores doing all that shit, it's real out here.
This is a necessity.
You know what I mean? But I think part of them psychologically knowing that this is what's gonna happen. So it's like, okay, now we have, like you said, no excuse now, because we know y'all gonna abuse it. When y'all abuse it right now, then when we change this shit, we're gonna start smacking people over the head. And I wonder if it's different though, if you already got felonies and shit like that. Yeah. It might be different. It might be cool for people that ain't got no record. They might want to get you a little, start piling your record up. You know what I mean? And then smack you over the head. So they got their tactics with shit though.
I never thought about that.
So it's always smoke and mirrors. They ain't just letting a nigga just get away with all this shit right now. You might be winning right now, but yeah. But at the same time, what I'm saying, get it while it's good.
I mean, get it and I think it could be bad in a way as well, because I think it's good, but just the flip side of it, like you saying, people gonna take advantage of it, and that might be small businesses might, you know, lose shit because of it, or mom and pop shops or whatever, or you know, just things like that. So it could be bad, but I see more good from it than bad, only because like we said, like I don't think a kid that's just a little rough around the edges should have to then, you know what I mean, go through the system and do all this shit, you know what I mean, and possibly turn into somebody else or whatever, you know, whatever go on in there. Like I don't think that's fair.
Yeah,
so.
See, my mindset now, being in older age and having life experience is different than when I was younger. When I was younger, I'm like, oh, no cash bail for woo. I probably would have been doing the same shit that the kids is doing. It's up, green light. But now me being older and I know the type of tricks that the system plays, you got to be smarter than that. Like you said, you're destroying a lot of small businesses. Not only that, you're destroying the reputation of your own people, because now they're starting to zero in on just us.
Yeah.
As I'm seeing all these videos and other races going to see, it's always them. It's always them. Every video I'm seeing, it's us. We running in the store, we running in the Nordstrom's, running in the Macy's, running out
Doing
with jeans
crazy
and
shit.
colognes.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now it's making it look like when they say, oh, these is the criminals and they all the same, you making it look like it's true.
Yeah.
Even though we all know it's not. And, you know, I could pull up videos of anybody, but they're gonna key in on us. So like I said, they doing you a solid by saying, hey, misdemeanor petty theft, we don't want you sitting in jail. It's kind of fucked up. The jails is overcrowded. You in here with people with serious offenses. You could become a victim. All type of shit. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't from the streets. But if you're going to abuse that, you can make it worse on the back end for yourself and for the next generation. So we got to start being smarter about shit.
What y'all think about 50 Cent saying, like, LA is finished because of it? Like, it's going to just all hell is just going to break. Because I'm just like, how can it all hell break loose if it's non-violent, you know? Or like, it's not like you could run around with a gun and just be going crazy. Like, y'all think it's finished?
50 is basically just saying the same type of perspectives that we speaking from. He's understanding from a street mentality that people are going to abuse it. Yeah, so by him, that's the only thing I could generate from him. I don't know exactly what he's saying, but if I rationalize it in my way of thinking, then I think he understands. Like, LA is already what it is. So being out here in Cali is already fucked up to a certain extent. So by that, he's knowing, like, they're going to abuse that. But at the same time, these same people it probably wouldn't be in a mass of people, but these same people are going to do it with or without them laws changing or not. You know what I mean? So it's just like that might help them or it might not.
I don't feel it's finished. I mean, crime is the same, bro. It doesn't matter, bail, no bail. There's a deeper underlying issue to why crime rates are the way they are in certain communities. So the no bail is gonna spike crime. Obviously, I mean, that's common sense. People gonna see it, people gonna abuse it. But as far as LA being finished, like, bro, it's not. It's not changing.
Worse shit been
It's been worse shit going on. And as far as the repeat offenses, because I heard you say, what about the repeat offenders? It says, while out on bail, repeat offenders can be made subject to cash payments. So if your ass is a repeat offender, it might be a little different for you.
You ain't just getting
Don't just think you feel me on the set. It's green
that's
for
why
you.
I said it's tricks.
But I will say this though, on the bail system itself, for people that have bailed out and beat their cases, as somebody who has bailed out and beat a case, run them their motherfucking money back.
Facts.
Because if I'm innocent until proven guilty and I prove my innocence, why the fuck you still got my money? Run me my bread back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's bread I need.
Get the retro paying that bread back. But yeah, that's how I feel about it.
What we got? What y'all want to get into next? What we got?
Okay. This is a topic I haven't seen really nobody covering, and it was a big issue at the time when the video went viral. Tyree Nicholas, the kid, the young man in Memphis.
We talked about it on here. Mm-hmm.
Oh, y'all talked about it?
We not this particular instance, but we talked about when he was chased down and murdered by. I don't want to say murdered by the police.
He got murdered.
That's what it was.
Allegedly. But fuck allegedly. We saw the tape, and then it came out. He was in contact with one of the cops' girlfriends. You feel me? It seemed like it was like some jealous rage type shit.
I didn't even know that.
Bro. I was doing my research. So they beat the shit out of dude, killing, blah, blah, blah. One of the officers or former officers was like a whistleblower. He came out basically exposing the department like, it's a lot of dirty players, this and that. And I think he had info on this. And he was just found shot dead in his driveway. It says former Memphis police officer Mark LaShore, who criticized the police involved in the killing of Tyree Nicholas, was found dead in his driveway Sunday. LaShore was a retired Memphis police officer and military veteran who had been outspoken about the police officers accused of murdering Nicholas. So, I mean, listen, it looked like an inside job to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If it's fishy, it look inside to me. You know what I'm saying? You got a former cop, whistleblower, sounded like he got information on this case. All of a sudden, he just pop up dead in his driveway. What's the odds of that?
Sense.
Just random? Like, come on, who he really got beef with?
They
like,
say that cop been exposing a lot of shit.
Yeah, for some time, yeah.
Yeah, so they probably been waiting for
Get
a
that
moment
nigga
for
out of
him.
there, yeah.
And if anybody know how to get away with murder, it's them.
Police. It kind of remind me of the LA Confidential movie. It's like they got it's like it follows 3 different cops in LA, and one of them is is like trying to be a good cop, you know, and you see how that play out. So I think that he for sure got. I mean, I don't see what else it could be unless he was into his own, you know, whatever, his own trouble on the side. But it's so coincidental. Now, I think the media will come out and say the exact opposite of what we're saying, just because that's what they're going to do. They're going to come out and be like, it was that random. It was somebody just in the neighborhood, blah, blah, blah. But I don't see a former police officer that has intel, you know what I mean, years and years of intel on what's going on in there, going out multiple times, not just once, speaking against it, like you said, ends up dead in his driveway. Right now, during this time, it just sounds a little.
I don't believe in no coincidences.
Yeah,
and at the end of the day,
like,
what enemies he got? If he's a truthful or
True,
got
yeah,
integrity as a being a whatever he is as a cop, whatever the case is, and you going against the team, of course they manning you down.
And you seen the way you seen the way they got at the dude Tyrese. So they was the way they was talking to him, how they was beating on him, like it was. I don't know. It for sure wasn't no police shit like what you would think the police would.
That's
be.
the one where the nigga was on the corner, right? When
Yeah,
they caught him.
They caught him into the house, and he ran into the neighborhood.
Yeah, behind a broad. He was down the street from his house or something, right? Yeah,
and it's crazy because it was all black cops.
Yeah.
Whooping on somebody black, wind up killing him. So this is why
they had more information on that. Yeah, like you said, it was behind the broad.
Yeah, behind the chick.
Whatever the case was. Now
See, I didn't even hear that.
Yeah,
So.
it was all behind the female.
I think they had like messages and shit.
Yeah,
not
they
to
had
give
text
me
messages, all type of shit.
See, I kind of stopped following it after whatever when we reported on it. I didn't know that, and that must have came out. See,
So it died down. They tried to let it die down
they
a
let it
minute,
die
then
down.
off cut.
Then let it die down and boom. But see, this isn't the first time we've seen this. A cop come out, he go against cops, basically saying, "Hey, it's foul play going on," and he wind up missing. Eric, what was dude's name? Not
that went on a spree.
the one that went on the spree.
Chris
on
Dorner.
Chris
Dorner?
Yeah.
Dorner, Chris Dorner.
Yeah.
He wrote that whole letter when it did,
Yeah.
and boom, what happened? Got him out of here.
Yeah.
Like he said, I don't believe in no coincidence. And it's crazy because I'm seeing they already reporting and said there is no evidence of foul play.
Yeah, like,
and there was a woman seen on surveillance video stealing from the shore as he seemingly lay dead in the driveway. So he's man down. Some bitch come and I guess go burglarize his house.
Yeah, like
But they seen her on the footage though.
But
They
couldn't
arrested
see who
her.
shot
They
him.
didn't see who shot him. Like, come on, let's stop playing games. All right. We know what's going on. That's why they say there ain't no such thing as good cops, because you go against that blue wall.
You getting it. You gonna get it. Or either you staying long enough to get corrupted. Like it's one or the other. It's really one or the other.
You fuck around and get unalived
I
down
believe
here.
that.
Yeah, that's facts. Dude. You're done.
They classify it's two types of cops actually. They classify it's grass eaters and meat eaters. They call it. And the grass eater is a cop that's like more, you know what I mean? He might write you a ticket. He not holding his gun all the time. He's not using his privilege as a cop. A meat eater is a cop that's coming out there, hand on a gun. They walking in the stores. I'm getting a free donut, whatever. They're using their privilege. They're more aggressive. They're trying to be wolves. So,
But niggas like him, it's like you know the ins and outs. You've been one of them. So to not know the stance that you chose to take and not be prepared for certain situations blows my mind sometimes. Like, you're not even ready at all. You know what I mean? You know they gonna probably come get you. Or you just think it's cool. You finna just be talking. Ain't none of these niggas finna do nothing to you.
Hey, it's like Nip said. When you go to tell the truth, you just know they're gonna come and kill you.
yeah.
Just know. They do not like the truth. So be prepared. This is another topic that's going crazy right now. This SB 14 bill that was shot down by six
Democrats.
Democrats.
2 Republicans voted yes on it.
6 Democrats voted it down. If you don't know what the California SB 14 bill is, it was a bill written by the Republican state Shannon Grove, which would add child trafficking to a list of serious felonies in California. Anyone convicted of at least 3 serious felonies faces a prison sentence between 25 years to life in Cali under the 3-strike law. So basically, if you was involved in that, you would fall under that 3-strike law. And when I was reading reasons, because it blew my mind that they voted it down.
Yeah.
How the fuck could you vote this down? And
all
their
things.
reasoning was, they said because of the 3-strike law disproportionately affects people of color. I guess they didn't want that being tied into people getting convicted or not convicted.
Okay.
And then another reason was there was some wording in the bill to where victims themselves could actually be charged. Like if you trafficking somebody and then they get that Stockholm syndrome or just, trying to stay alive. And then you go kidnap some more
Around with
people
him, you
and you
finna
have one of your victims help you in any way, They're now a part of your crime. So if you got this lady kidnapped, scared to death, thinking you finna kill her, like, hey, go tie them up. You know what I'm saying? Go tape their mouth closed. And she do it out of fear. I'm just trying to stay alive.
Yeah.
Oh, you helped him. You're a part of that.
you're an
Now you
accomplice.
can be convicted with him, and you're a victim. So that was kind of crazy. How y'all feel about that?
I look at it like California, Texas, and Georgia. Those are in the United States, these are the three places that have the most trafficking. And when people don't understand about I think trafficking is, it doesn't necessarily just mean sex. You could just be sending people to do hard ass labor with no pay, no entryway out, nothing. So, and then when you think about the connection that California has to Mexico and how, you know, they were moving illegal immigrants in and out, and you know, it's people getting smuggled in and out of California, in and out of Texas, you know what I mean, from the Mexican border. It's why would they pass it? Why would the Democrats not pass it? You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I feel about it. Is it just enables them to have a problem, maybe, to keep kind of harping on, or there's obviously some hidden motive where it's like there's some elite people, and I hate to say that shit because I don't really know who the elites are, but there's definitely people in power who are profiting off of these people. Either they getting trafficked for sex or hard labor, whatever the case is, but they don't want to stop that. So. And, you know, California, Hollywood is weird over here anyway. So it's like we said, you know, they'll send people to jail for a long time over some bullshit, but you don't want to think of like you a pimp. If you a pimp and you go to jail, you're going to go to jail for a while. But you telling me if you trafficking kids, what's the max? Like 10 years, 5 years for trafficking some kids?
They getting slaps on the wrist from what I'm seeing.
And I feel like that's because I don't know the statistics, but I don't box in people of color with that. At least not no black people. As child traffickers. I'm sure they're out there, but when I think of child traffickers, I think of other races of people, specifically white. So I'm be honest with you, specifically white people that and I know probably there's a bunch of different races that have, you know, their fetishes for children, but come on now, when you think of the weirdo in the room watching kiddie porn, you think of white males. And so I feel like that's who it's built to protect. At the end of the day, that's how I look at it.
I say this now. I don't think that shit really got no color lines no more, because it's they say sex trafficking is a $150 billion a year
Everybody
industry.
getting money.
Everybody getting money.
Yeah.
It is the highest. It's more than the NFL. It's grossing more than the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, and the NHL combined.
So it's profit.
Yearly profits combined. So when you know those numbers, and then you look at the laws, it makes sense of who's really involved in this shit. Mm-hmm. Because I can go out here right now, rob somebody, and get more time than I will for trafficking a kid into the sex trade. Yeah. And as a logical human, you're going to go, how the fuck does that make sense? Follow the money. That's what they always say. Follow the money. Who's getting profit from it? Because there was a whistleblower that just came out. I want to say this was back in April. A whistleblower says the U.S. is middleman in migrant children smuggling. Pretty much, I think by the Biden administration, excuse me, I'm tongue-tied right now. This damn coffee got me geeked. The Biden administration got pressed over 85,000 unaccounted for migrant children released into the U.S. And the whistleblower basically came out and like, yeah, they forcing them into child labor.
Yeah. Man.
How the fuck do you lose 85,000 kids? It's not even possible. Yeah. And I was watching the little conference where they was interviewing the chick. She in there smiling, laughing, like nothing going on.
I seen that. She was deflecting a lot.
Pretty like, I don't know. 85,000? Come on, man. Let's stop playing. How you feel about this, bro?
I don't be surprised no more by these laws and shit. Like, it's I didn't see too much I understand. None of that, like I say, is never designed for us. It's always designed for them. And if I make the laws, of course, these laws are not made for me. These laws are made for the people up under me. I'm going to move how I want to move, regardless or not. At the end of the day, you just got to take it how you take it and learn how to move around them. If you letting that shit affect you to that extent, you're going to be fucked, because it's like, oh, I'm absurd and getting us like this. What we doing is cool, the awareness of talking about it, but none of that shit's going to change by us just speaking on it. They let us speak for years, you know what I mean? And shit happened. They still slapping niggas in the face. So it is what it is, like, when it comes to that shit. I don't have too much. It's corrupted. It been corrupted. I never forget, right? This a little off topic that threw me off when I was young. Like, I was on, this is how I knew the system been fucked. I was on probation when I was young, and for part of the probation, you can ask my mama this. Me and my mama had to go down, whatever, they had to, like, this little meeting for probation, and I had to do a eulogy on my mama. My mama had to do a eulogy on me. Long story short is what I'm getting at is that it was a judge in there, and the judge basically told the kids that was in there, look, I could be mad at my wife could be mad at me, and if we get into it that night, I'm gonna go to court the next day and I'm gonna give somebody 100 years to make me feel better. Man. You know what I mean? This is what they told me. So knowing that type of shit is like, damn, okay, they just go off how they feel. This shit actually make them feel good to go slap a nigga with 100 years. They ain't care about you. You just a number. You gone. They ain't gonna think twice about you. Yeah, from having a bad night because this nigga didn't get no pussy the night before. So you better hope you catch one of them on a good day. You know what I mean? And I can't make this up. This is facts. Like I say, but knowing these things and even being in situations where I know that it's corrupted. So it's like, I'm not really surprised. You know what I mean? Hopefully it get better, but you just gotta stay awoke and stay up on that type of shit so you don't get caught up in that mix.
That kind of makes me think too about a lot of kids that get kidnapped, and never found. Like, they could be alive, you get what I'm saying? But they wherever they are and they getting trafficked either sexually or they doing hard labor. So I wonder that too, if that's like something a part of it. Because I remember for a while we didn't even have an Amber Alert. We didn't even have, you know what I mean, certain things. So who knows what was really going on then? And so that's interesting.
Yeah, they say 350,000 kids go missing each year. And out of that 350,000, it's reported that 100,000 are being trafficked, pretty much. And see, they gonna call me a conspiracy theorist, but I go down the rabbit holes. Yeah, you feel me, with this whole satanic, Hollywood blood harvesting shit. And I believe that they put the truth in plain sight through jokes and movies and television, and they tell you what they're doing. Yep. And I believe a lot of these kids is being used for their blood. Adrenochrome. Adrenochrome. If you don't know what adrenochrome is, it's a chemical compound produced by the oxidation of adrenaline. So basically, they would, quote unquote, torture kids, get their adrenaline as high as they could, and then they would get the blood. Damn. And they're drinking blood, they're smearing it on their face to stay young, pretty much on some vampire shit. And there's been plenty of interviews of people tied to Hollywood and elites basically admitting it. Matter of fact, the dude that's behind the film,
Mel Gibson. Is he talking about?
No, not Mel Gibson. The guy, I think he was the actual cop that they was portraying.
I think his name was like Tyler Ballard or something.
Tyler Ballard. He did an interview with who was dude's name? Dude is damn,
podcast?
The dude from Canada. They trying to take his license right now. He's real outspoken. You know what I'm talking about. The dude seminar we wanted to go to. No, he white.
Who, Jordan Peterson?
Jordan Peterson. He just did an interview with Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson flat out asked him, is adrenochrome real? Is that whole thing, that whole conspiracy real? He said, yes, it's real. We have evidence of it. We know about it. It's really going on. But just a few years ago, you would be a conspiracy theorist to even use the word.
Talked about it.
And I forget who it. See, I got to start writing these names down. Somebody was on Ellen, basically talked about it. They asked her, like, damn, you look so young. How do you stay young? And it was like, I smear baby's blood on my face. Ha, 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 like a joke. Yeah. Bro, that's the truth in plain sight. And there was another article I just seen. It was a dad. He was like 40-something. And then they had his son. He was like 17. And it was like, he looked 17 himself. And the key is basically like kid's blood. They had the blood vials in his hands in the picture. So they're like, damn, they're normalizing this shit, slowly introducing it to society. Like, that's what I think is going on with a lot of these missing kids.
You know what's crazy about that? I could tie that into something. I don't know if you ever watched a show called American Horror Story, but it's like a show. And lately, last couple seasons, they've been doing like a double feature. So it's like 2 shows for the season. So halfway through the show, it'll switch to a whole different kind of show. I don't know which season it is. It was most recent, but this writer moves to a like secluded town. And when he gets there, he meets this person who is a doctor, and she's giving people these black pills. And when they take it, their talents are supposed to come to life, like a lot. But because everybody has the ability to be talented, but the people that it don't work for, they lose their hair, all this stuff, and then they start feeding off the blood. But once you take the pill to be talented, if it works for you, you got to go and kill people and suck on their blood to keep your creativity going. And then so the show goes from there to the small town. He becomes a big writer, all this stuff. And then he takes himself and the doctor back to Hollywood in LA. And then like at the end of the season, you see like LA is a madhouse, like they're in like a theater. And, you know, she's giving the pills to everybody. People start eating each other, all types of crazy shit. But it kind of shows how, I feel like that was some shit that's hiding in plain sight, how it shows, you know, there's something going on in Hollywood when it comes to what they're doing to get involved and become more talented, become more successful, and the measures that they're going. You know, like you said, it's a lot of shit that they're doing right in front of our faces. But if you ever got a time to like go check that out, it's interesting because it's literally based around writers and actors and podcasters and shit, and they take the pill and they get more talented. But if they don't, they turn into these like vampires almost. So it's really crazy.
Everything, I agree. Like y'all say, everything is in plain sight. I remember I went to go see the new House Party movie. It was the most bullshit movie that I ever seen. I don't know why they fucking did that over. But to get at what I'm getting at is that they had a scene in that movie. It was like a ritual scene. You know what I mean? They went fucking to one of the places, met one of the rappers, and he took him to a spot. They was fighting to the death. Dude ended up getting sacrificed, and they started drinking blood and all that shit. So all that was tied into it. And I just want to say one other thing. They coming out here. I seen that thing where they taking people melanin. Don't give up your fucking melanin. What? That shit is worth more than gold. I don't know if you've seen them videos. They scraping people's skin off. They getting the melanin off of them. You know what I mean? Your melanin is worth more than gold. That means black is beautiful and it's better than probably all this shit out here. But they don't want us to know this shit. You know what I mean? So do your homework. They doing something with that melanin because they know these people is starting. That sun is fucking them up. They trying to figure something out. And I'm gonna just say it now. I don't know what, but it's something in the air, man. And I want to go on one more thing. I want to get too far off track.
No, you good.
But I do feel like by us, like a lot of this shit going on, right? And the vibrations and the thoughts that we give as a whole, if the whole universe and us is connected as one, we always give so much energy to a lot of these subjects. And I feel like that's creating, we're dealing with causes, we're dealing with effects instead of causes. You know what I mean? And the only way to create more effects is to stay on the effects instead of dealing with causes. But so by us, as a unit, to focusing so much energy on that shit, that's keeping the planet on that same plane to create more of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like if everybody was on a positive plane, you would have a positive world versus us staying on a negative plane. This is what's creating more negativity on a deeper level. People could believe it or not, but it's facts. And understand your thoughts is powerful and understand how powerful your mind and your soul is. I believe all that is connected to what they doing to us. You know what I mean?
Speaking about remakes, my bad, because Oprah Winfrey, I don't know if y'all seen she remaking Color Purple.
Oh man!
And they making
this type of shit I'm talking about.
they making it to a musical, all this shit. But
Don't do
which
that
which
shit,
I was in the movies hot, like there's, you know what I mean, because that's a classic. But I don't know if y'all heard about her and her spiritual leader that she was parading around for years. He's going to jail for 99 years for over 600 crimes against kids and younger women. I don't know if y'all seen that, and she's been real quiet about that too.
Well,
so a lot of Hollywood shit going on. You know what I mean?
Saying she was one of the ones on that on that flight log.
On that island.
On that island. Like all the elites is on that flight log that they have not released. The island visitor list they ain't released. That case that they just brushing under the rug. Like all of that shit is tied in to everything that's going on. And that shit you was talking about, I think they call it energy harvesting. To where they get like you said, everybody's connected around the world. We all connected through energy and vibration. And they get people on a lower vibration. Like they put out bad, like if you ever watch the news, it's always fucked up stories. There's never nothing good going on in the world. So you wake up early in the morning having coffee, watching the news, you starting your day on a fucked up vibration. And the whole thing is just to keep people on lower vibrations, even down to the music you listen to and the frequency they're recorded on is designed to keep you in a low vibration. So yeah, y'all tap into that.
You actually want to get into that? Because I know you had something to say about that.
Get into that, man. Wake the people up, man. They don't even know what the fuck going on out here.
Because that got a lot to do with a lot too. It do.
Nah, that's crazy. That frequency shit is real. Meditating and all that and knowing certain things is real. So they basically had like they had a study. So they did like even most modern music is on like 440 I want to say 8 Zs, the same frequency through which most current television, radio, and other electronic media are emitted and absorbed. Seeing the frequency of the universe is only 432 and resonates with the golden ratio, 440, like an unnatural standard tuning frequency. So long story short, in 1939, the British Standard Institute organized an international conference recommending the 440 standard. It's theorized that one of the most infamous international frequency switches in history was ordered in 1940 Germany by Joseph, I want to say his name, Goebbels. Don't give me the line, but that's what it said, yeah, Goebbels. The Nazi propaganda minister, by switching the tuning frequency of Germany's controlled broadcasting from 432 to 440, he weaponized the law of vibration to influence and brainwash the entire nation. So by these frequencies, they are naturally controlling people. People don't understand from just even walking outside, there's frequencies radiating in the air that affects you mentally and physically without you knowing. For the music you listening to, the things you focusing on before you go to sleep, the last things you focused on should be positive and good energy, even when you wake up. So then they had basically it became an evil tool to imprison them with the confinements of a hateful state. The United States was next to adopt this and its tuning frequency. And since become the basic standard, is sacred and sensible, enhances hostility, disrupts the sequence of thought, and disconnects the brain, left and right hemispheres. So they disconnected and malfunctioning the way your mind naturally works to the way they want it to work. And the way they want it to work is keep you in a hateful state. And if you're in a hateful state, you corrupting you, your kids, anybody around you by being in this hateful state, this negative energy. Anybody know you can get around somebody with that bullshit energy and it drains you immediately.
You feel it. Mm-hmm.
And now everything, your whole day is fucked. You mad at everybody, you ready to fight. So just keep that good energy and stay focused and control your thoughts. Be aware of your thoughts. A lot of us is not even aware of what we think. We let our thoughts think for us. We don't think our thoughts.
For real.
You know what I mean? So control your mind and just stay focused on that.
No, what you said was true because, everything's alive low key too. Because I was reading on how different fabrics, is a certain thing too. Like if you wear a looser fabric, I guess it's better energy. But if you put on something like, for instance, like cotton over it, it blocks it. It blocks the energy. I forget where I read that, but everything's alive. So that's some true shit right there. And I think we are very unaware of the negative thoughts we think because they got us in this cycle. It's kind of like we're a motherboard, like just powering. I don't know what we powering, but we are in this cycle of not really thinking about what we're ingesting when it comes to TV and food and what we listen to. And it's all programmed on these low vibrations, which is, keeping us coming back for more as well as, like you said, like keeping us in this certain mindset. It's funny that the Germans, I don't know, like the Germans is crazy because it's the Nazis, you get what I'm saying? They was doing, in South America, they was doing experiments on little kids and stuff like that. And that's where a lot of them fled after, I think it was, what is it, World War I or II, one of those. But it kind of ties into like MK Ultra and all them other types of things like that, when they was administering LSD and kind of seeing what you would do off of it. They was putting, officers in brothels and giving them LSD and seeing how they was going to react with the women. And that's scary. You get what I'm saying? So it's shit like that. Or Charles Manson or Ted Kaczynski, which was the Unabomber. If you look at any of these people like Charles Manson, Ted Kaczynski, go look at certain other bombers or school shooters. If you dig deep enough, you'll find the feds. You'll find where their part was in it. You'll find it, and you'll find that they had contact with them. Hey, same thing with Osama bin Laden. Same thing. He was working with the CIA. They stayed in the same city. You know what I mean? He was in the National Hospital of Dubai. Like, so if you dig deep enough, you'll see a lot of these bad people. Our government has something to do in it. They brought him over here or whatever, you know what I mean, or whatever, or they gave him something because that's what they had Charles Manson hyped up on was the LSD and this is and that. And so I do believe that the government is trying to keep us like that.
Yeah, about the frequency, the change from 432 to 440, they always blame the music for the violence in our communities. They're right, but they only tell half the story. They blame the lyrics, but it's not just the lyrics. It's the frequency that it's on.
The sounds.
That's putting you into that mind state mixed with the lyrics is now driving you to actually do things.
Go do something.
So it's not just the lyrics. It's also the frequency. It's like, I don't know if you ever listen to the radio and you hit a spot where it get real staticky and you like, man, I'm gonna just ride it out until the static go away.
Yeah.
But after a while, your body cannot even stomach it. You like, I gotta turn this shit off.
Yeah.
That is the frequency can literally make you sick.
It's too
if
much.
you listen to it too much. And they even done studies to where if the body ingests these bad frequencies too long, you can even die. It can kill you.
Damn.
Because a lot of these frequencies are found in nature. Like they call it God frequencies, to where they use it as healing powers. You see it with the monks and certain indigenous tribes and shit, to where these frequencies can heal you.
Yeah.
Remove sickness from your body, help you sleep better, lower your heart rate, lower blood pressure. They know this though. Like if you go on YouTube and look this up, and like they do experiments, they'll put like salt on the table, or they'll play the frequency over water, and then they'll use the frequencies that's found in nature.
Sure.
It'll make amazing shapes in the water, or the salt will make amazing, crazy shapes. But then the frequency they got us listening to, that they switched it to, is just fucked up. Like the shapes that come out in the water or the salt is just like in a disarray. So just imagine that being your brain. Imagine your brain is the salt. You play the frequencies in nature, all these amazing shapes. So it's doing all this amazing stuff into your mind and raising your frequency.
Yeah.
And they knew this, so they like, man, hell no, we got to keep people fucked up on a lower frequency.
So I got a question y'all then about, because now we're talking about music and low vibrational.
Yep.
Do y'all think that all kinds of music has those vibrations? Like for instance, EDM or what's up?
Turn it.
Like EDM or rock or whatever. Like, do you think that we're all operating with low vibrational music? Like, cause that's the question I have to y'all. Like, do y'all feel like those other types of music have, I guess, the same vibrations as rap or hip hop or whatever?
I don't believe every music is low vibrational music, but I do believe every music has a different frequency. That's why some music, like he says, you could listen to some of that heavy metal or some shit and it make you feel some type of way. But then you can listen to some soul music and how you feeling
great.
Yeah, you know what I mean? How you more relaxed, how you more
get married and have some kids.
In a different space. So it's part of the lyrics, because the lyrics starts to program you. I'm gonna go off a little off subject, not too much, but like you were saying, when you in a car, it's not no coincidence that if you listening to the radio is damn near stronger than TV, because when the radio is on, they're playing the same thing. It could be a song that you don't even fucking like, but they didn't play it so much, you can get out that car. When that car stopped, that song is still in your head. You know what I mean? And now it's getting into your subconscious mind to where it's just naturally becoming stuck in your brain. And now you're starting to even like this song that you didn't like when you first heard it. So I believe that's part of the programming. But it's this book, man. I ain't too big for everybody, but it's called Project 369. I suggest everybody go get it. I'm promoting them. This is a good book. But in this book, it talks about what you were saying. Like, they have frequencies on relieving pain and tension. Frequencies linked to the root chakra, arouse feelings of safety and security. Frequencies on inspires liberation from fear and guilt, inspires change, releases negativity and past trauma. Frequencies of the universe, arouse feelings of harmony. Frequencies, miracles and transformation, supporting DNA repair, physical healing, cleanses disease and sickness, supports relationships and reconnection, inspires solutions, problem solving and self-expression, inspires harmony and return to spiritual order, arouses a sense of oneness and unity. It's a million different frequencies. I like to study a lot of shit and then I like to apply it and try it. So for like 2 weeks straight, I just kept myself on falling asleep to one frequency, and then I listened to it in the morning. I listened to it while I'm driving, and I did a difference. I did that, and then for like another 2 weeks, I did some bullshit frequency to see how I was feeling.
Yeah.
On them high frequencies, I woke up. My energy was different. Everything was different. I was in a better state of mind, I felt like. But then when I got on another frequency, you could feel the difference. Now, if you're not in touch with your emotions and your mind, then them frequencies could tear you up throughout the day, I believe. But I do believe it's a difference, and you got to be aware of how you feeling. How you feeling is signs to let you know how you thinking.
I want to say one more thing that kind of goes on that. A while back, I believe in Europe, is something called occult magic, which now it's really just, I mean, we have medicines and different things like that. But occult magic was literally like saying, if you are depressed, for instance, like you can get sick. It was telling you stuff like that. If you grieve for too long, you can die. If you're angry, that can turn into sickness as well. If you're happy, you can avoid sickness longer. If you, have a more positive mindset, you can avoid sickness longer. And so it was called occult magic. but it's really not magic. It's literally kind of like what we talking about, just the vibrations and also being in tune with your mind, like how you said. I like you said something on the other pod talking about how a lot of us walk around, some of us don't even have thoughts in our head. You said some shit like that. So people walking around soulless, and I thought that I think that that's true because we hooked up to the headphones and the radio and the TV and all this stuff, and we're really not in tune. So it's very easy for them to slip these vibrations or these messages within us, and that's not even understanding because we're like, oh shit, I only got 15 minutes left. I got to go back in here and whatever. And like you said, that takes on the whole day and then your life if you're not in tune. So yeah, that's pretty crazy.
There's a lot of bots.
Look, look, this is a bar that a lot of people didn't know. I knew this about Prince, but I didn't know this about these other people. Jimi Hendrix, John Lennon, Bob Marley, and Prince all made sure their music was recorded in 432 hertz. So they've been on this. Yeah. I know Prince been talking about this in plenty of interviews.
Yeah, Prince been tapped in.
He been tapped in. They starting to bring a lot of his old messages out now that people got social media and they're getting tapped into this information. Prince been saying a lot of this shit. This is why people saying they killed Prince.
They got him out of here.
They got him out of here because he was dropping knowledge way back then. But all of them knew about this and they made sure their music was pushed in 432 hertz. So I'm pretty sure the average artist don't have no idea about any of this. They just happy to get rich. So, man, these frequencies is real. Y'all tap into it. And like you said, everything's alive and everything's moving. Even this fucking table right here. It's moving right now. It just, you know what I'm saying?
We can't
it's just vibrating on a different frequency. But if you get a microscope and check it, it's
got
not
atoms in that motherfucker.
it's not nothing is solid. Yeah. As you think. That shit is crazy. That shit is deep though.
What you got for us, man? I could dive into some shit. You got something for us?
Let's see. I low-key wanted to talk about the major role alcohol plays in adulthood.
Ooh,
I like that one because I feel like I'm getting to an age right now where I'm kind of cool off consuming alcohol at a high amount and kind of basing my outings or what I'm finna do for the day around alcohol. I feel like what's crazy about it is we learn to consume alcohol at a young ass age, right? Like the baby shower, the birthday party, the barbecue. It's all got alcohol involved. Maybe not for everybody, but I know for a lot of people, you see your parents, they have a little drink, they chilling, whatever. It's not like it's crazy, but you learn from a young age that you could just sip and be cool and not necessarily go so crazy, and it creates this want for it. And so I do think that, because you said here, after you give it up, you realize like half the shit you're not really interested in. And that's for me, because I went to the bar or something the other day, and I didn't drink nothing. I was drinking Liquid Death, which is like a sparkling water or water, and I'm just sitting there. And I don't know if I was just having a bad day, but when I got up in there, I was like, man, it's just, niggas are just dumb in here. Like, they was having dumb conversations. They was slurring their words. It was a lot of shit going on where I'm just sitting there, and I'm just like, now that I'm not under the influence of it, I'm just kind of like, what am I doing here? Really, like, what am I doing here? Every once in a while, but this shouldn't be some every weekend shit that you just, because you also got to look at it like a lot of people will spend the whole week self-improving. You spend Monday through Friday self-improving, and then all of that work you throw away. I don't think people understand. You had 15 drinks Saturday, 15 drinks Sunday. You just threw all that gym progress away, especially if you're not in shape already. Like, shit like that. So it's interesting because that's kind of the point I'm in right now in my life. So, how do y'all feel about that?
That's deep that you, I like that you touched on that. But yeah, because that's where I'm at. I'm at the age where I just really can't drink no more. Like, I just hit a point where I'm like, I got to get this shit up. And like you just said, you realize how much of your adult social life is based around poisoning yourself. Because drinking is just poisoning yourself.
That's all it is.
Now, mind you, drinking was supposed to be used for like celebratory things. Like every now and then, okay, I'm celebrating an accomplishment. I might have some champagne or I might take a few shots. Okay, boom, back to work. It's not supposed to be coping to your reality. Like, people are using this as an escape to reality. And when I stopped drinking, my brother, he always talk about being the sober person at the party, right? It's like, if you ever been to a party sober, like you said, you look around, it's like everybody's fucking possessed. Everybody is just idiotic, and you just like, what the fuck am I doing here? Because I guess the word alcohol, if you go to its original meaning, like all the way down to the root of where the first description of it derived, it has something to do with like demons. Like,
oh shit. So
you ever drunk and then people was like, you wasn't yourself.
Yeah.
Or I don't know who you was that night, or you can't remember shit. Cause they say when you drink, you allow that energy to take over your body,
Yeah,
which
I
is
seen
why
that.
people drink and get out their fucking mind and just act like you're like, damn, I don't know who the fuck you was. It goes all the way back to ancient times where they're like, man, you damn near demon possessed when you drink. When you get drunk, is you're not supposed to get drunk.
That kind of remind me why it's called like spirits. Cause you ever see that like spirits,
That's what I was
wine,
thinking
beer
of.
on
Nah,
the
it
thing.
is,
Like,
it is,
Exactly.
man.
Spirits.
Yeah.
That's the fucking word I was looking
by
for.
you not being able to have control of your mind, you allow somebody else to control your mind. You naturally become a sheep, like you say. But I try not to judge one because I for sure was once one.
Yeah.
But I do understand, like y'all say, I get to points where it's like some people are like, damn, have a shot. But it's like, knowing me, I was young drinking a lot. You know what I mean? So it's different. But like you said, I'm at a point in life like I be so focused on bettering myself. It's like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Nigga don't even need this. But like you said, every now and then it's cool. Certain people I haven't seen in a while, fuck it. I'll take a few shots with you and all that. But 9 times out of 10, you don't even have that same thrill for it no more. It don't be the same shit because I feel like we reaching for something that's bigger than us and outside of us. So it's like, this is going to throw off, like you said, 3 or 4 days of progress. You could be moving way better. You know what I mean? I'm sluggish to the gym now. I'm not putting in the same work. My brain is still foggy 3-4 days after. The shit don't just go out because you sober the next day. The effects still last on you longer. You know what I mean? And it's like that shit is that plays a hard role. But I think it's more than liquor though. I think it's everything nowadays.
Weed, too.
Even harder than that. Niggas is doing hard drugs out here. The pills, the lean, the
pills is
drink.
These niggas
It's
full-blown
serious.
dope fiends.
Yeah, it's serious out here. But
I will say this though. When I stopped drinking, I noticed my focus to get things done is up. Because even yesterday, my boys was hitting me like, hey man, pop out. We here. Already in my mind, I know I'm not drinking. So now I'm just really thinking like, what am I finna go here and do? Because I know these niggas drunk already. So long story short, I wind up not going. You feel me? I wind up working on my content yesterday. So I'm like, damn, the old me would have went out, got drunk, been fucked up today, whole day done. Monday, I'm still recovering. Because I don't know if they putting something else in this alcohol. But this ain't the same alcohol I was drinking 10 years ago. Like he said, it's taking damn near a week to recover. And I don't know what it is about alcohol, but it makes other people around you kind of like want to force you to be on that low vibration of being drunk. Like if you say, I don't smoke, niggas will leave you alone. Oh, cool, more for me. Yeah. If you say, I don't drink, or I want to have a drink,
you gotta have one.
The whole party is on your ass trying to get you drunk. Like that's why I would just remove myself from the situation. And not only that, I'm starting to notice certain friends, I ain't gonna say we wasn't friends, but now that I don't drink, or I don't drink as much, we don't have nothing in common. Yeah. So I'm starting to realize, like, damn, was we ever really connected, or we just was used to being drunk together? Because now that we sober in the room together, it's nothing to talk about.
It's nothing.
You know what I'm saying? And they stop coming around so much because you don't want to drink.
Because you don't want to drink, and that show you who your friends are too. You know, like I think it's happening to a weed today too. Because I stopped smoking weed. I love to smoke weed, and I stopped doing that only because when I'll say like 16, 17, 18, weed was different. And I don't know what it is now, but that shit will have me on my ass. Not only that, it's more like, I don't know, a lot more people going to the hospital. Like it'll be making your heart beat faster and just kills your drive for things. And I think that's because it became legal. Like before it was legal, you know, it was still potheads out here, but now the weed is like extreme.
I just think the weed, they fucking it up.
They putting too much shit in
too
it.
much chemicals on that shit. Like naturally you have shit growing out the, you know what I mean, out the earth as a regular resource, and it help you. But a lot of people still love that shit, but I feel like they putting too many chemicals in the weed. You gotta be careful with the weed, because I seen one shit, they said the fentanyl was in the weed.
Yeah, they were saying that.
Spiking it with that shit.
You got to be careful what you get your weed from. If not, grow your own shit. You know what I mean? I'm saying, because they fucking niggas up out here. And people don't even know it. It might be affect you 5, 7 years later now. Yeah.
And the biggest thing I think weed does is it fucks with your mental. I think it fucks with your mental just as amount as alcohol, because it is a cerebral drug. Like a lot of times you either are very introverted in your thoughts. That's when you start, you know, you had a high moment or whatever. You start talking about some crazy shit. What if I could walk this way or do this? And so it's very cerebral, but when you're in your head, it's like lucid dreaming. You can go in a dark place and you can stay there. You know what I mean? And any drug, the endorphins and all those things, it puts you on a high. But eventually, once you hit a certain tolerance, it actually starts to do the opposite for you. So like for me, weed would relax me and make me real cool. I'm giggling, everything. And then it started to turn me, after so many years, it started to turn me anxious, self-loathing, like different from what I was before, more like introverted. And I'm like, hold on. So I feel like I hit a bridge with it. And I feel like a lot of people do, where you start to realize like, I ain't even really me no more. Like I remember when I was doing this, or I didn't need the blunt to go to the movies before, like random shit. Like why can't I go watch a movie not faded?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it don't really make no sense.
I'm gonna say this though. Weed does have a lot of
good effects too, though.
Yeah, benefits to it, because I know weed is good for cancer patients.
Mm-hmm.
I know weed is good for people that have seizures. Weed stops that a lot, because I think the electromagnetics in your brain or something, the weed slows that down from actually creating that shock. So it's probably more benefits than that. It's just the process. Just be careful what weed you're using and what type of weed you smoking, because I know it's weed just for the body that don't make you lazy. Then it's the weed in the head that make some people crazy. You know what I mean? Like you said. So it just depends on how you do it and what you do.
I will say this about the alcohol. I think a lot of people, when they reach the point of starting to tap into their higher self and their true consciousness, that's when you start to get away from it. You start to denounce it. Because a lot of people use it to escape reality. It's like, I don't like the reality I'm living, so I'm chasing this feeling. Really, the feeling you chasing is getting in touch with your inner consciousness, your true consciousness, your higher self. That's the feeling that we all chasing. We just don't realize it. The more we run to other things, the further away we get from what we really chasing after, what we really seeking. So you get drunk, you getting high, you chasing it in designer, you chasing it in clothes and trips and this and that. But really at the end of the day, all you got to do is look within. You look within, you're going to find what you're looking for. Everything else is just a plus. Yeah. But you're never going to find it in that bottle, because the feeling you chasing is inside. You're really chasing your higher self. Tap into your true consciousness, and I promise you, you're going to look at that shit different.
Yeah, that's a fact. I really think that's a fact. And that's what it's made me, and that's what I said, like, that's what it's made me see, is that, like, it's very low vibrational. And like you said, everybody's on that type of time when they're drunk, and that shit just ain't for me. Like, and yeah, it's not.
Look, this is a topic I want to talk about, and I got a lot of flack for this, but I don't give a fuck. I'm standing on it. This is a hill. I ain't gonna say it's a hill I'm willing to die on, because I ain't dying on no hill. This is a hill I'm willing to kill on.
Okay.
I'll analyze some shit on this hill. College is a scam. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. College is a scam. The statistics show it. The statistics show that millennials, pretty much our generation, I don't know what year the viewers was born, but millennials are the most educated society in history and the poorest. We have the least amount of wealth. So we have the most education, but the least amount of wealth.
Yeah.
Our generation, they push college, higher education. The more of that shit we got, the less money we got, the more debt we got. So when I say college is a scam, mind you, college is good for certain things. You want to be a nurse. You want to get into like engineering, or you want to be a lawyer. It's some shit you can't avoid. Yeah. Something specific. But if you're going to college for a communications degree,
come on,
in 2023, what are you about to do with that for real? So, and this is another issue I got that I want to address. I hate when people say, "Oh, you graduated at YouTube University or TikTok University." You do realize these things are replacing college. You can learn stuff on YouTube.
I'm a YouTube
or TikTok.
University.
Oh, and saying that you had to spend thousands to learn at college before, where you can learn at your own house in a matter of days or hours or minutes. So when you do research, you get it out of a book. It's all secondhand information anyway. None of this shit that you're studying, you were there for live. This is all things that happened in history. Nothing's new under the sun. The only difference with YouTube and TikTok, same as a book. Cite your sources, make sure they're valid. You know what I'm saying? Cross-reference where you get your information from. But it's the same information that's in a book in audio format, in video format.
And even that, most of the greatest people didn't even finish high school.
Yeah.
Exactly. Most of the millionaires,
you know what I mean?
They hire people that went to college, but I didn't graduate.
You got
know
people
what I'm
like
saying?
Dr. Sebi that didn't even do certain things and became one of the greatest to do shit. You know what I mean? They had to get rid of that man.
Or people like, Malcolm X, he all he was doing was reading books and in jail, and was educating himself by himself. He didn't go to no school. Yeah, so
right.
I think that's true. I think now, I mean, it all depends on your goal, right? Because I kind of look at it, because we talked about this on the other pod, is what we can do in our communities. And I feel like with Gen, I don't know if it's Gen Z, their focus more now is social media, right? And it's more like getting it on their own. But with that, the government has somewhat been able to take it and corrupt it, where they putting certain people in front of us. Like I said, like they put in front of you the 15-year-old that makes $1 million from trying foods. So you kind of like, well, let me go do some bullshit like that. Oh, I didn't make it. Like, damn, I'm going to be nothing in life, And it's like, nah, that's not the case. You got to just be strategic. And I think it goes maybe even deeper. Like when you're a child, you need parents, or you need somebody to kind of instill in you to not be a follower, be a leader. But it's so hard when you're brought up in the school system, because that's what it's pushing. But I think that a lot of people can go to school and get a degree in something that's going to get them at least some good income. And then from there, you got to start making decisions. Okay, how do I get out of this? As long as you don't get no debt. Like, because you could go to community college, get a bog waiver. That's $20 for the whole year. The whole year. And if you do that 2 years, you bust down, you get a 2-year degree. You can go make $25 to $30 an hour. Now, that's not crazy money, but it's better than minimum wage. And it gives you a little wiggle room if you live below your means to create that business, you know what I mean? To fund it, to watch it grow. So I feel like y'all generation definitely went, did more school than that, but we doing more of this than educating ourselves. We got a lot of people that's on social media that's just selling lies, not really educated, and they making money off of it. So it's very, for me, it's like, I don't know.
I feel like school, like he said, it's a storehouse for information. Now, you going to school and getting these degrees, but when you're getting these degrees, say if I wanted to, this ain't a degree, but a lot of people are getting degrees and they are in distress in this day and time, because them degrees are just, I got a degree and what else after that? They're not teaching you how to get a degree. And say if I wanted to sell cars or something, to teach me how to build clientele on that. They're not teaching me how to apply these degrees. You get what I'm saying? They're teaching you to learn all this information. Now you got a degree, but they're not teaching you how to apply it and to get the best out of having a degree. You get what I'm saying? So I think that's the fault in that. And they're teaching you exactly how to think you got to think from elementary school. They're teaching us what they want us to know. They're not teaching us nothing that's legit, knowing yourself, of financial literacy. They're not teaching us nothing that we're going to apply in real life. We got kids that question this right now in middle school.
Yeah.
Like, what am I going to school for?
It's
like
stupid.
they are, and then how do you tell them, like, yeah, just go? Even though I know it's stupid, but just take your ass to school.
Like, what
you
the
know
hell?
what I mean? It's like
That's what I'm dealing with.
They already figuring that out. Like,
what I'm dealing
man,
with.
I don't need to know this shit, and I don't even want to do half the shit that they talking about.
Yeah.
So what am I really going to school for? Now you frustrated because your kids want to rebel, but even though they're thinking the right way, because they're thinking outside the box. They're not trying to be sheep. They're not trying to be led. They're like, man, I can go start doing this myself right now. I don't even want to do that. So I feel like it's a negative and a positive. But like he said, anywhere you acquire information from is good. But question anybody. Question us. Be skeptical about everything. Because when people spit things to me, I want to know, how do you know? That's the main question you can ask anybody to determine if it's fact or fiction. How the fuck do you know what you saying is going to be truth or not? And if they can't tell you how they know, then 9 times out of 10, it's a lie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the thing about college, I like that you said it's like a storehouse of information. Just graduating, there's plenty of idiots with a degree. This is what people don't realize. Having a degree does not mean you're smart. School means you knew how to memorize information to pass a test. School itself, when you look at the school board, and when John D. Rockefeller basically molded it, it was to create employees, workers, non-thinkers. Just think about that. The school board itself, the whole school system was designed to create non-thinkers. You go get a bunch of useless knowledge, 90% of it is garbage that you're never gonna use ever in real life. You're never gonna apply this. You just memorize a bunch of knowledge, pass a bunch of tests, they hand you a piece of fucking paper. Then you go off in the real world and you get hit with real problems with all this massive amount of debt that you acquired, and you don't it's sink or swim, and your ass is sinking, guaranteed. 90% of the time, people is out here unaliving themselves at the highest rates. Drug abuse, alcohol abuse. I mean, it's through the roof. I will say we talk a lot of shit about Gen Z. I think Gen Z gonna be the generation to change all this, because my kids are Gen Z, and like he said, in middle school, they like, why am I learning? Like, they're literally questioning the work. Like, I learn more on TikTok, even though we talk shit. They got the STEM TikTok. My son telling me all type of shit about fucking engineering and all this shit that I'm Googling, and he in the fucking 7th grade. I'm like, nigga, what? What the fuck is this? Like, they teaching me shit. And they going to school like, why am I reading Cinderella? Or, you know what I'm saying?
Some
like
history that's not even true.
History that's not even true.
Yeah.
So you stockpiling information. They say knowledge that's not applied is useful. So most college students, you just stockpile unlimited knowledge and you never fucking use it. If it's not gonna help you reach your purpose in life or your goal, the knowledge is really useless. You just know a bunch of stats. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? How is this helping? What do you want to do for a living? Is this gonna help you get there?
Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah. So why do I need to memorize all this shit? So yeah, man, that shit is a fucking scam, man.
I think too, thankful for the millennials though for kind of figuring that out, because without those types of parents, we wouldn't have these types of kids. Because like you said, like y'all had a different type of parent where it's like, we don't really know, but this is the American dream. Go to college, get a degree, do this, do that. Now it's more like, well, shit, we went through that. We don't really know if that's going to work. So, man, let's see, maybe let me put my money behind what you want to do a couple times. You might have the the keys to it. Another thing, school was at least taken from, there was a general, I forget which country it was, but they was getting waxed every time they was going to war. And so he was like, man, they had a school, and I think it was for like 6 months or a couple years or something like that, and they kept losing. Their soldiers were weak. So he was like, he had to implement, we got to get these kids when they're young, and we got to train them up to be the best soldiers that they could be. So by the time they're 18 or 19, they're really ready to go to war because they kept losing the war. And then that's where we adapted that method from. So it really does come from getting people young and molding them to do a certain thing for whatever that is. It could be to win a war, or it could be, like we said, just to be in this rat race, being a worker, which that's what it is for here in America. So I definitely do agree with that. And you see a lot of kids now that don't need school. Shit, I make more money than some niggas I know that have been still in school. So it's like, you just got to apply yourself at the end of the day. And I always tell people, tweak your resume, do whatever you want to do if you're getting a job, because they got to train everybody that gets the same training. Everybody gets the same training every job. So if you could get your foot in that door and show somebody you hungry and you ready to go, and then they give you that training, that's going to elevate you. Don't worry about the credentials that's necessarily going to look good on paper beforehand. If you can get in there and win somebody over at your interview or wherever you are, you can definitely go further. You don't have to have the credentials, and I know that for a fact. So
look, I will say this. Shout out to all the blue collar workers out there.
Oh, yeah.
They don't get a lot of limelight. They don't get a lot of love, but they're literally keeping the world afloat. So a lot of these kids, we need to start pushing to get trades as well, because with AI taking over a lot of these jobs that kids is going to school to get these degrees for, you go to college, get all this debt, get this degree, you pop out in the real world, and they replace your whole shit with AI. You can't even get a job in the industry that you dedicated your life to. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to all the blue collar workers out there. Shout out to all the jobs that AI can't replace, because people gonna have to start looking at this shit, because I'm seeing AI in Ubers, AI is janitors, AI is working fast food. Bro, AI is doing everything right now.
They trying to replace the human.
Bro, the actors is on strike right now.
How y'all feel about that AI robot? Did y'all see that thing?
I think so.
They had the AI robot, and they asked the robot, like, basically would it ever go against humans, and the robot gave like a side eye, like
kind of hesitated a little bit.
Yeah, like what the fuck you mean? Yeah, like, but even asking that type of shit. But what make me think of that, like I say, call me crazy now, but I feel like the iRobot movie was exactly what they're basically presenting now. They showed us that years ago.
That's 2005.
This robot
like
looked
that.
exactly the same. And then in the robot in the movie, they had the one robot that was conscious. It was the only good one though, but the rest of them was fucking over everybody. And they had the one good robot that could think for itself and saved everything. But you never know, man. They dropping little drops on us, and I'm saying just load up, cuz get your guns and shit stocked up. They trying to get
fight
us.
this AI shit as much as you can. I don't know if y'all are aware, but the actors in Hollywood, they on strike right now because they're saying they're having them come in to do one audition, getting their voice. I ain't never got to use you again.
Yeah,
I
that's
have rights
fucked
to
up.
your voice.
In life,
I
though.
could pay AI. I mean, I'm not, excuse me, not pay AI. I can use AI
Make
as
that
you.
over again, yeah.
Now I don't have to pay you. And they doing the rap industry.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
this shit is, you got to think about this shit, bro. Once they get your voice, it's over with.
a wrap.
I get your face. I get the rights to your likes because when you sign up with these apps and everybody's making themselves an AI,
Yeah.
you finna be in some weird ass AI movie
Somewhere
and not even
you
know.
not
it.
even know. I want to touch on one more thing, and it's a woman by the name of Sarah Bartman. Let me go to it.
Yeah, this a good one, man.
Yeah.
This is for sure a good one.
I
I wish you could show that clip.
Yeah, so, the reason why I'm bringing it up is because I seen a video of SZA, if I'm gonna be honest, and she put a cup on her ass and it was sitting, you know what I mean? Cool, it was sitting pretty, but it made me think about Sarah Bartman because she was exhibited as a freak show. Her name was Hottentot Venus, which is a slur. We look at that as a slur now. I don't know the exact meaning of it, but that was a slur. And during the late 1700s, early 1800s, she was paraded around pretty much as a freak show exhibit. So they would take her out there and put little children and stuff on her, and just show her body type was so weird to people, because Europeans ain't working with none of that, right? So they was parading around and making money off of it, and it's just funny to me because the person who found her and said she would be great for this type of field and make a bunch of money was a doctor, and his name was Alex Dunlop. And so I'm trying to tie that all into now with women getting surgery today. You guys are getting the same procedures from the doctor. And even though it's not the same as back then, that's who found his body interesting and said, oh, let's go, parade it around and get money off of it. And it's pretty much the same thing that's going on right now. Just now, you guys are willfully going and getting this surgery, which, I mean, you might feel a certain way about your body. So I'm not going to say don't get the surgery, but I think we need to understand the roots of where this stuff comes from. And if y'all knew that was actually something that was being laughed at, years ago, and you were being paraded around as a freak show, would y'all still do it? That's my question. Will women still go and get the BBL and the fat transfers everywhere?
They like to blame us for the BBLs. Don't get me the line. I like fat asses. That's us as men and black women. I love y'all. But like he said, y'all got to understand the roots of everything where this is coming from. These white people that y'all be thinking that be on y'all are still making a mockery out of y'all to this day in their eyes. They might be cool for the infatuation for the second, but the same way y'all think they look at us, they looking at y'all even worse. Like, look at these girls looking out here looking crazy. Yeah. And the woman that he's talking about, they had her as a laughing stock, like coming to visit her, chained and locked her up just to look how big and laugh at her ass. Like, this is crazy that they even did that to her. And even after she died, they still kept her posted up and was still having people come to see her like a monument of whatever crazy, it is. Bro. It was a negative connotation. Do what you do, love yourself, love your body, but just understand your homework and your history of why these doctors are so willingly loving to do what they're doing to y'all.
Look, he said he ain't gonna tell you not to get the surgery. I'm gonna tell you, stop getting these fucking surgeries. I'm sick of it. It's getting to the point I'm looking at you bitches like AI now. Like y'all not even real for real. Yeah. Because BBL is like damn near taking over. It's the new norm. Like it's rare to see a natural body, or when you do see a woman with a nice body, automatically you got to question: is it natural? Yeah. Is this real? You really got to think about it, and that's fucking sad because growing up, when you saw a nice ass, it was like you were in amazement, like, oh my God. Now you see it.
It's
like,
whatever to
this
you.
bitch done been to Miami.
That shit's stiff.
Yeah.
You know why
questioning that shit.
You know why I feel like the value is depreciated, like you said, because everybody hopped on that train to go the same way. I think we valued women differently when we were younger because it was more real, but we had everything. You had the skinny women that was beautiful and you valued them for their uniqueness. So when you seen ass, it's like, damn, okay, I like that for that. So everybody had their own individuality. Everybody wasn't trying to look the same. If a bitch had titties, she had titties. You know what I mean? And that was cool. So it's like now, it's like everything is ass. But I'm not mad at it. You know what I mean?
I'm mad at it. I'm
mad at the super fake ones with the little thighs. I still ain't even mad, but it's like, come on, cuz.
I'm mad at it.
And that's another thing too, right? Yeah. It's like now that it's became popular, you're gonna always have certain surgeons and you're gonna have a what's the word for it? Like an unconventional way to go and get this. So now a lot of y'all ain't getting the best of the best BBLs y'all can get.
They getting them
So,
Groupon
you know what I mean? So a
BBLs.
lot of y'all exactly coming in here with that coupon, that 50% off BBL.
Motherfucker stiff as a
And it's
brick.
looking
Hey,
crazy.
get one cheek, buy one cheek, get
you
one
feel me?
cheek free. Like,
You looking like a pea, you know, a walking pea. Like it's looking crazy, and that's I don't think people understand that too. And you don't know the long-term effects. None of us do, because it's a fairly new operation. So who knows what's gonna happen to you in however many years, or you know what I mean. A lot of people got to, when they, you know, the first thing that we were seeing was like people getting a bigger chest and changing their nose, and people had to go back over and over again to get that done. So it's like, and it's to the point now where men are even getting abs and taking the fat out their chest.
them
And
niggas
Nah, that's
weirdos.
insane.
Them
Yeah.
niggas weirdos.
we doing shit like that now. So it's like, and that's what they're trying to do. They want us to alter ourselves because they getting paid, but we don't know the long-term effects. I just want people to love themselves and understand, you know what I mean, that I don't know. You even look at the Kardashians, for instance, right? That's another thing with the BBL. Like, if y'all don't remember, in the early 2000s, if you had a fat ass, like, that wasn't popular.
It was a bad
It
thing.
wasn't popular. You didn't have no, besides J-Lo or
Didn't
couple
J-Lo
other-
get like ass reductions?
That's what I'm saying. You
because
had
they hated her
people,
so much.
you had people getting their ass reducted because it was a bad look. Now people is going to that. The Kardashians went to that. If you realize, they scaled back. Go look at them now. They took it all away, and they dating white dudes now, and they trying to go back to what it was. So I don't know if people just understand that it wasn't cool, and this is something else that now is cool, and we've allowed other people to come in from other cultures, and it's just
Nah,
I
they
don't
just
know.
they just got us
getting out
chasing
of
something
whack.
that don't exist. They got you chasing perfection when you was already perfectly made. If that makes sense. So we already created in our perfect essence, and you know what I mean. Your temple. Just take care of yourself. That's the biggest key. Exercising, trying to keep yourself healthy in certain ways. We take care of everything from our shoes to our cars to all that shit. But the most important shit is our bodies, and we be like, fuck that. We don't care what we put in that bitch. We don't care how I look. We just throw some shit on. We going outside, and now they constructing it like a car, changing the bodies of the parts. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? You breaking it down, and now my stomach get too big, I get this shit sucked out. But it's
least
only
go
so long your body gonna be able to take that shit.
Listen,
You know
they
what I mean?
say love is the highest frequency. This is just them keeping you from reaching your higher self. It is rooted in self-hate. You look in the mirror, you hate everything about yourself, and you think the only way I'm gonna love myself is to go to the doctor. You go to the doctor, and it's just like getting a tattoo. You get that first one, now you addicted, now you chasing it. Well, you know what? Doctor telling you, you know what? You can make your nose look a little better. Boom, you do the nose. Oh, we can make your cheeks look. It's just never ending. Like I said, you're chasing something that's already inside of you. You got to seek inside of you and seek that higher consciousness, your higher self. It is literally just self-hate is keeping you in a low vibrational state. You are already made perfectly how you're supposed to be made. I'm seeing dudes getting surgeries to be taller. You niggas is
yeah,
really
that
out of your
was
mind.
crazy,
Niggas
yeah.
spending $40,000 to get
Walk on
fucking
some
knee
stilts.
implants. Like, bro, you niggas is
Them
gonna be
motherfuckers finna
crippled.
break
For the rest
down.
of your life.
You
You
ain't
ain't never
crippled
gonna
by 45.
Yeah,
like,
you ain't never
tryna
gonna
stretch
catch a
your
fast
legs,
break
them
and dunk
things.
again. You ain't never gonna do that
niggas
shit.
can't never do
Yeah.
a squat again. Like, bro,
Yeah.
this shit is getting out of hand. It is insane.
And then the shit look crazy because it's like the nigga was my height, and then so his waist, each nigga little, and then he looked like he on stilts.
And
like,
your arms is still
yeah,
short.
as little as
You got
hell.
long arms.
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro. You gotta work with what you got.
Being short ain't that bad.
It ain't-
Right.
it ain't-
Work with what you got.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
getting to the point where I'm looking at flat asses and I'm like, yeah.
Okay.
I'm starting to like that because at least I know it's real.
I ain't gonna lie, them
You feel me?
backboard asses is done. I ain't going for them. Backboard flat ass like this, table like this. Don't get
That's
your
a no-go.
BB
Yeah,
football field.
I'm co-signing
Yeah,
that
yeah.
right now.
Nah,
Man.
but I understand though. Nigga just want some realness. Yeah, that's all that shit come with that. But
I think it's a personality trait too at this point. Like when you really look at the BBL, it's like women who are getting the BBL, they have a certain personality. Let's be honest. Like you can, maybe not all of them, but you could tie a certain type of personality to the surgeries that these women are getting. That's how I look
it's
at
like
it.
you could dissect them all immediately.
You like,
from
come on,
knowing,
you
like,
went and
yeah.
did this, so, and then you see what the clothes they got on, what they like. You like, okay, you wanted them. That's kind of what the BBLs turn into. You wanted them.
It's usually low. It's usually
Like-
females with low intelligence. I'm starting to notice. Like even doing content now, I'm starting to talk with them more. Like I'm talking to hundreds of women, and a high majority of these got BBLs, and their intelligence level is here. They got their body here, but what about your brain? How much money did you invest in your mind and raising the the quality of your mind. You so focused on the quality of your body, your mind is fucking in the floor, is in the ground.
And women gotta
it's
understand
ridiculous.
that. Y'all gotta understand that the same way men are under attack by the government, so are women. They put cosmetics and surgeries and different things in these magazines from early point on to, you know what I mean, subconsciously influence y'all to that's what y'all care about the most is the image. So you guys we're in an image driven society, but you care more about your image than what's on the inside. And it's starting to not work out for us, right? Because you got people who are getting a BBL or whatever the case is. And then what? When you don't end up with somebody or you still at your mama's house or whatever the case is, was it really worth it? Like, what was it going to make better in your life? That's what I don't understand. But I'm not a woman, so I can't sit up here and say I get it. But I know I'm not getting no surgery. And I think y'all should at least try first. Shit, go hit the gym. 4 or 5 months, 6 months, a year. Go try at least before you go and get a BBL. Like, come on, man. It's especially if you're young. You got 23, 24-year-olds hopping out with a BBL.
Insane.
Your body, you're still in good shape. You're in the best condition you probably will be in, and now you just altered it because you feel me, you want to go keep up with the rest of the crowd. But it's not really worth it, you know, at the end of the day.
It's the instant gratification generation. People want results instantly. They don't want to put in the work. They don't want to have to go through the journey to reach the goal. They just want to go from 0 to 100. No, that journey to reaching that goal is going to make you who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The result doesn't make you. The work that you put in on the way to the goal is what makes you and builds your character. You're not getting no character getting on the doctor's table. Matter of fact, that's fucking your character up. That's a character flaw, which is why most of these women that's getting these surgeries are depressed. You know what I'm saying? They turn to drugs. They turn to prostitution. It fucks you all the way up.
In my opinion, the only thing that's going to improve is like niggas in your DMs. Like, I mean, that's the only thing that might increase from getting the BBL. More pretty privileged type of things. But again, it still doesn't. If you can't capitalize on that, which most people are not capitalizing on that, most women, then it's pointless. That's all it's gonna really get you is more niggas wanting to fuck, and you know maybe some more free shit. But at the end of the day, it's not really doing anything to elevate your mind or yourself.
You never gonna feel fulfilled inside because you gonna know that they only fucking with you for this. That's like a man that got a gang of money and every bitch only fucking with him because he got money. He know deep down like he a bullshit nigga. She only fucking with me for the dough. A nigga lose this, it's over though. So it's like, you know what I mean? Nobody fucking with you for you. That's where it really counts. So it's just like, all that shit is crazy though. At the end of the day,
I call them rentals. You got a BBL, you a lifetime rental now. Nigga gonna get you, fuck you, have his fun with you, throw you back to the dealership, bitch. Next.
Unfortunately, guys, I hate to say it, but that's the truth. That's how I'm looking at it as well. Like, it's just what is it gonna do? You know, that's what it is. It's I feel like it's just over sexualizing yourself. That's kind of, and I don't know if I'm gonna get killed for that, but when you want to go to the max with the titties and the ass and the little ass waist, like you want a certain type of attention, point blank period. Like you're coming out here more sexual than if you were in a natural body. Cause that's what it looks like to me. It's straight up just sexual. It doesn't in my head, I don't think like, okay, that's a nice body. Like without saying like, damn, that's a fat ass, or like you see how that ass, you know, sitting out them shorts, whatever. Like,
so I feel like not that my fault.
No, you good.
So I feel like I hear a lot of women say that they do it because of their husband or certain men that want them to have that. Now I could say it's a small percentage of that, but I feel like what goes into the mindset of that too is how you present that. So say if you are a woman that does have a nice body, but that doesn't mean it has to be flaunted every chance they get. It still could be covered up. It still could be put on in dresses right or certain ways. You know what I mean? Because there's some women with natural bodies that's like that don't got to have their ass out, cheeks out all the time or
beautiful
showing certain things. So you still could appreciate the curves of it.
Shit.
Okay, yes.
You still could appreciate the curves of it without it being all of that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, somebody pop. Damn, that's crazy.
Oh, shit.
You good now, yeah.
Yeah, but to the grown man getting these fucking height surgeries, y'all need y'all ass whooped, man.
Yeah,
y'all need y'all ass whooped. Get in the gym, learn the martial art, learn to build shit, get a purpose, man. A grown man should not be getting surgery to get taller. Learn to use the attributes you got. I'm 5'6". I stopped growing in high school. Guess what? I learned to work with what I got. I have never had a problem getting women. From tall to small, from big to small, the baddest of the baddest to the fattest of the fattest. I have no issues, bro. It's what's in here and what's in here. Your height ain't gonna make that much of a difference. If you ain't going to the NBA, being over 6 foot, you damn near wasting anyway. So you want tap into your inner self. You niggas getting them height surgery, y'all some fucking lanes, man. I just gotta put that out there.
Nah, but I think because we keep saying going within, y'all might have to elaborate on what y'all mean, like inside of yourself.
What I mean is like understanding that you have the power to control your destiny. Nothing materialistic or physical is going to necessarily alter your destination. At the end of the day, it's what's up here that is going to, because perception is everything. So if you understand that and you understand, the way being powerful within your thoughts is, and like you said, if you know, hey, if I know I'm short and I don't give a fuck, then how is somebody saying you short gonna affect me? So a lot of it is rooted in insecurities. And so men that's getting the height adjustments, y'all need to look within. Why do y'all feel that way? Don't blame it on the women calling you short, blah, 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 all that. You feel that way because you're insecure about being short. Now, like you said, what can you do about that? For one, forget about it. Because if somebody making fun of your height and you 20-some years old, that motherfucker, whoever that motherfucker is immature as fuck anyway. Like at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So there's that too. And then make yourself valuable. Because it don't matter what height you is. If you valuable, they gonna flock. At the end of the day, like it doesn't really matter.
Fact.
Period.
So you doing something, and then on top of that, to be the guinea pig for the shit? Nah, not me.
Nigga on 25 on stilts.
Yeah, not me. Nah.
One leg kick, your shit over with. Your career's done.
Yeah, but y'all got any other last words? What y'all got? That's it.
Look, thank you for having us again, man. Like I said, it's always a good time fucking with y'all. We are promoting, how can I put this? Because I don't want to make it a race thing, because this was another topic that I want to dove in, but we ran out of time, is when you look at these other, specifically white content creators, you see all of them pushing each other. They get on this person's platform. This person get on this person's platform. They get on each other's platform. They push each other up. They bring in newcomers to their platform. Get them a following. Bam, now they got a platform. When I look at niggas, all I see is niggas beefing. I see is niggas trying to shit on each other. And then I didn't even want to say dude name, but I got to because I'm seeing a lot of clown shit with his name. It's specifically involving with our community. Fucking Adam 22. He started. I don't know if these is. I want to say these is fake beefs, but he got the niggas from Chicago. Then he got niggas from Cali.
Crip Mac and him. You talking about that?
Yeah, they got them beefing, and he at the top egging the shit on, just throwing darts on it. It's probably fake for the ratings,
but that's still bullshit.
It's still just the optic of it to have a white man at the top, and you got niggas at the bottom fighting each other, and he's up here laughing and antagonizing it. Bro, stop with the clown shit.
Yeah.
Stop with the clown shit. Stop letting them make a mockery of our motherfucking culture. This is why we coming together to show you how to do this shit the right way, the motherfucking viral way, the real way. Build with each other. Stop letting these other motherfuckers use you as a puppet to build their empire. And then when their empire is up, they're not sharing it with you. They're going over here. You feel me? Like, I forget the name of the content creators, but they be bringing guys like Andrew Tate on, or the Nelk Boys, and all the newcomers that's really popping in their communities. And another thing I'm noticing, they don't bring us over there for real.
Oh no, they don't.
Like, you feel me? Like,
they don't.
We'll have similar content, similar takes. They'll never try to mix it in, and I'm kind of like, damn, what, y'all not fucking with niggas or what? Because a lot of the viewers, they won't take valid information if it come from a nigga. Like, our culture, they crown one person in one lane, and that's all they want to hear from. So Kevin Samuels, they crown him the king of the relationship lane. Anybody after that, you a fake Kevin Samuels. You a knockoff. The dropping knowledge
19
lane.
keys.
They got 19 keys. They got brother RZA, and they have
like Dr. Umar.
Dr.
They got
Umar.
him.
That's it.
Yeah.
Anybody else try to drop knowledge, you will fake them. We got to break out of that too, because over there in that lane, you could be a nobody. If the information is valid, people are going to take it. With niggas, for some reason, they only can listen to one person at a time. No, bro, we have to expand this. We want our culture to win. We got to bring as many people as we can in this shit.
Take a village.
It's like a village, like you said. So yeah, that's something I'm trying to, not even trying, that's something that we're
doing.
breaking. something we doing and leading by example.
I think it's important to collaborate with your people, man, for real, because at the end of the day, we all we got, you know? And when we work within, we keep our dollar within, we keep our knowledge within ourselves, we grow, you know what I mean? If you could have 50 people working on the same thing at one time, that energy all together is going to get you much farther than you just working on it by yourself. So we need each other, man, and it's great that we leaning on each other for content and collaborating and being of value to both of the platforms. And I just hope that we do inspire other Black people to go ahead and do the same because, like I said, we all we got.
Yeah, I feel like we just gotta learn to play positions. You know what I mean? Know your position and know how to play it in certain moments. If you learn that, once one foot get in the dough, we all start getting in the dough. You know what I mean? It ain't gotta be, I'm the first one or whatever the case is. If somebody else is hot, let that nigga keep balling. You keep assisting. You know what I mean?
For real.
Your time has come to score. So it goes both ways. But you know what I mean? The Viral Way podcast. go get us on there. Disorderly Conduct.
Yes,
we doing
sir.
our shit.
Tapped
This the
in.
collab. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm a side of great. We gonna lead the way.
The Viral Way.
That's it, man. Thank you guys out for coming again. It was dope. Y'all gonna see us together plenty more times. So just stay on the lookout and be ready for this episode, man. It's Carlee the One. This is Disorderly Conduct. You already know how I like to close it out. Praise be to Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful.
Salute.
Damn, I should have had this mic up.